Welcome to the video recording for Clinac Console and MLC Controller, CCMC, Clinac version 9.5 and Multi-Leaf Collimator version 8.5. For Clinac Console and MLC Controller, CCMC, this video covers the following: Introduction to CCMC, Communication, Startup and Shutdown, Workflow Changes, a new application log viewer, saving and print options, major modes, and references. Clinac Console and MLC Controller, CCMC. This is a hardware and software release to replace the Clinac DOS console for C-Series and unique Clinacs. On the hardware side, it replaces the MLC controller and DOS computer. On the software side, it replaces current software with MLC version 8.5 and Clinac version 9.5. Note, hardware and software can be used to replace older MLC hardware and software without replacing the DOS console. There are two possible installs for CCMC in the field. In one type of install, the CCMC only replaces the MLC controller. In this environment, users will have a Clinac version 6.3 or version 9.1, MLC version 8.5, and the new log viewer application on the 40ITC workstation. In the other type of install, the CCMC replaces both the MLC controller and the DOS console computer. In this environment, users will have the Clinac version 9.5, MLC version 8.5, and the new log viewer application on the 40ITC workstation. The CCMC operates the Clinac console and the MLC, provides all the clinical screens on the Clinac display, displays screenshots captured in the physics and service modes on the 40ITC workstation. It controls the MLC via fiber optics, communicates with 40ITC via terminal and Ethernet connections, and supports the use of the dedicated keyboard, in-room monitor, and service keyboard. Startup and shutdown. There are new CTBs for CCMC systems. Follow CTB GE 1026 instructions for daily startup and shutdown for Clinac or Trilogy systems equipped with both Clinac console and MLC software running on the CCMC controller. Follow CTB GE 1028 instructions for daily startup and shutdown for a unique system equipped with CCMC controller. CTBs are available on myvarian.com. CCMC does not allow gantry and couch manual remote motions. However, the CCMC still allows for targeted remote motions, where F2 is pressed and a target value is typed in. This sequence of images shows targeted remote motions for a collimator rotation. First, select the RV mode up, then press Enter. 3. Press F2. 4. Type in the targeted collimator value. Then press Motion Enable and double arrow key until the collimator reaches its target position. The collimator values will display as the collimator is rotated. The final value will match the target position. Workflow change. Wait for the target screen to appear before pressing the Motion Enable button and double arrow key. If the buttons are pressed before the target screen appears, release the buttons, wait for 2 seconds, and press Motion Enable and the double arrow key again. The new log viewer software application on the 40ITC enables viewing of the print files, Clinac morning checkout logs, DYNALOGS, event logs, backup and restore, and terminal logs. This software application is used during service and maintenance, not during clinical treatment. The Print Files tab in Log Viewer displays screen prints. Screen prints from the Clinac display can be created using the Print Screen key on the Service keyboard. See the Saving and Printing modules in this e-learning for more information. Next, let's look at the Clinac Morning Checkout tab. The Morning Checkout log contains the validation checks performed during morning checkout. After each morning checkout, a log is saved automatically in the Morning Checkout folder on the 40ITC workstation. In the Clinac Morning Checkout tab in Log Viewer, a user can view morning checkout results, sort the logs according to date and time, filter the logs by date, and print logs and log reports. When a user chooses the print option before exiting morning checkout mode on the Clinac, the log is also copied to the print folder and can be viewed using the Print File tab. Next, let's look at the Clinac DYNALOGS tab. Dynamic treatment logs displayed in the Clinac DYNALOGS tab are records of the machine settings and actual values after an arc or enhanced dynamic wedge treatment. They are created after delivering the treatment in clinical mode or while performing the morning checkout procedure. Each DYNALOG contains machine identification, machine serial number, treatment setup information, and dynamic beam statistics. Each log is dated and time-stamped when it was created. Next, let's look at the Clinac Event Logs tab. Event logs displayed in the Clinac Event Logs tab contain details about the status of the accelerator at the time when such an event, such as an interlock, occurred. The recorded data can help determine the cause of the problem. Refer to the Clinac version 9.5 Technical Reference Guide for more information on the sub-tabs within the Clinac Event Logs tab. Now let's look at the Backup and Restore tab. The Backup and Restore tab of Log Viewer allows the user to back up log files on the workstation or external media. It also allows the user to back up or restore the machine configuration. Backup configuration files can be saved to any location, including external media. Next, let's look at the Terminal Logs tab. The last tab displays both the Clinac and the MLC terminal logs. By hovering the mouse pointer over the date, you can see the underlying file name. Saving options. To create a screenshot in the Clinac screen with the CCMC, press the Print Screen on the alphanumeric keyboard. Then go to the 40ITC and open the Log Viewer application on the Print Files tab. The Clinac screenshots will also be saved on the 40ITC in the Screen Capture folder. The Screen Capture folder location on the C drive can differ depending on the Windows version of the 40ITC. The Clinac F6 print can be pressed on the Clinac dedicated keyboard when it is available in the Physics window. Press F6, then on the 40ITC, open Log Viewer to view the screenshot. See the Physics Mode module of this e-learning for more information about saving information in Physics Mode. The optional printing feature is available when Log Viewer is installed on a customer workstation with a printer. Next, we'll look at the changes in the major modes for Clinac version 9.5. We will look at morning checkout, physics, and communications. Morning checkout. Before exiting morning checkout in the Enter Parameters data box next to Save Log to File, make sure Yes is selected and press Enter. This action creates a morning checkout file in the print directory and is accessible in Log Viewer Print Files tab. A morning checkout file is always saved in the Clinac Morning Checkout directory and accessible in Log Viewer Clinac Morning Checkout tab. If your system includes RPM, respiratory gating, or a third-party gating system, perform at least one patient QA treatment to test gating. Manual gantry remote motions are not allowed in morning checkout. To improve your workflow, prior to entering morning checkout, drive the gantry to the start angle of the first ARC treatment in morning checkout. Ensure that each ARC treatment's in gantry angle matches the start gantry angle of the next ARC treatment. Physics Major Mode now has 3 menu options: Configuration, Language Selection, and Utilities. Physics Mode Configuration. To save the physics summary in Physics Major Mode, first press F5 to save, and then F6 on the Clinac dedicated keyboard to save the physics configuration into the print directory. The report shows the data in the memory at the time you requested the printout. If you did not save the data that was printed before you exited the physics mode, the saved summary will be inconsistent with the current data. After F6 is pressed on the Clinac dedicated keyboard, open up the log viewer on the 40ITC to the Print Files tab. If the log viewer is already open, then click Refresh to see the new print screens. Language Selection is a new menu in the Physics Major mode for Clinac version 9.5. Select the appropriate language from the menu. This setting will take effect once the user exits the Physics Major mode and returns to the Clinac Major mode screen. Physics Major mode utilities functions have moved to the 40ITC. The date and time are now automatically synced with the 40ITC workstation. This synchronization occurs when the 40ITC application starts. Backup and restore machine configuration, view, backup logs, print morning checkout, event, and Clinac DYNALOGS are available on the 40ITC on the new application log viewer. The communications functionality has been moved to the log viewer application on the 40ITC workstation. References available on myvariant.com include the Clinac version 9.5 customer release note, Clinac version 9.5 instructions for use, Clinac version 9.5 technical reference guide, CTB GE 1026, Clinac and Trilogy startup and shutdown instructions for CCMC systems, CTB GE 1028 unique startup and shutdown instructions for CCMC systems, Millennium MLC and HD120 MLC customer release note version 8.5, and Millennium MLC system and maintenance guide version 8.5. C-Series version 9.5 compatibility. Always view the